Welcome to the May Bank holiday, everyone, and the 75th anniversary of VE Day. Now, the last few weeks have been a roller coaster of emotions and busyness for all of us. Now, personally, I've gone through periods of adrenaline and focus to fatigue and worry. I've been lucky to be home working since March, though, and I really do take my hat off to all of our essential and key workers. You're doing us all so proud, and thank you very much. So last month, the VMG team were deeply saddened to hear about the passing of our long-time friend and colleague, John Sheridan. John was an early founding member of VMG, or back then, the Veterinary Practice Management Association. He's a past president of ours, and it was only Christmas just gone that the VMG team sat down for dinner with him in London, and I had the honour of sitting next to him. And I could safely say the stories I've read about his passion for veterinary business, but above all, his kindness couldn't be more accurate and spot on. In this month's newsletter, you will find some tributes from VMG directors past and present, as well as a link to an online donation page. John, from all the VMG team, thank you for what you gave us, and our love and wishes to all your family. At VMG, we're investing in our veterinary business evidence base and resources to inform our future plans. Last week, you should hopefully have received an email from our office inviting you to take part in a survey to inform our future. If you haven't already completed it, please do so and play your part in shaping your VMG. And also, you may have heard about our recent recruitment of Dr. Hannah Perrin to the role of VMG's Group Development Manager. I refer often to the importance of slowing down to go faster, and Hannah's recruitment is an example of how VMG are investing in veterinary business resource to ensure we can provide even more benefit for our industry and our members. And on that note, Hannah, it's over to you.
Thanks, Rich. Hi, everybody. Thanks for joining us for this May update and the first one that I've been involved with. So if you are not familiar, I'm Hannah Perrin. I've been working with the VMG for the last year or so. And just in last month have now been appointed as Group Development Manager for the Veterinary Management Group. So I'm really excited about that. We've got some absolutely fantastic stuff coming up that I'm really looking forward to being able to share with you. What I wanted to introduce today is the second round of our research grant scheme. So this is something that we launched last year. We had our first round of applications for research grants, and we made 3 awards last year to a fantastic bunch of people who are doing some really good work that is carrying on at the moment. So following that initial sort of pilot, we're going to launch the call for applications for this year. So essentially the aim of the scheme is to enhance the evidence base that we're working from. So there is a long-held adage, I suppose, in the profession, and it's actually something that John Sheridan was very famous for saying: if you can't measure it, you can't manage it. And the long-held saying is that there's a very dangerous sort of mindset of, well, we've always done it this way. And it can be very easy to get stuck in your ways if that's how you work or the people around you work. So what we'd like to do with this research scheme, the research grant scheme, is to promote the development of best practice based on solid evidence. So research is traditionally something that's been done sort of in universities, and obviously the vet schools do a lot of a lot of clinical research and increasingly more research around sort of the social sciences around veterinary medicine. So there's a lot of education research going on, and there's a growing amount of research going on in the social sciences. So things like business, things like client experience, things like marketing and HR and finance and strategy and that kind of thing, and that's what we'd really like to encourage. And the reason for talking to you about it is that we'd really like to encourage practitioners to get involved. So the people who are actually on the ground in practices, whether they are a practice manager who is a sort of a classic sort of jack of all trades who is responsible for the functions of a practice, whether you are an accounts manager, a customer care lead, a travelling support person who goes around, has a bunch of practices that they look after, the people that know what it's like on the ground. So we'd really like to hear from you if you've got a great idea for something that will help either in your own work or people doing similar work. So things like client experience would be a fantastic one. Could you do some kind of project that looks at the client experience, what clients want, demands, needs, wants, and actually gather some evidence around that? That'd be fantastic. Something around a marketing project. Could you revolutionise your practice marketing and collect some data as to how that's received? Was it successful? What did you learn from it? That would be a fantastic example. If you want to change the way that your staff communicate, could you look at that? So anything like that is things that are actual day-to-day on the ground, ways that are going to improve the way the practices work, the way they're run. If you've got a great idea, we'd really like to hear from you. All the information about the grant scheme is available on our website. We have grants available of up to £2,000 to fund the projects. Obviously, you don't have to apply for the whole lot. You can apply for a smaller amount if you'd like, depending on the scope of your project. And we're really happy to talk to you about it. If you've never done research before, but you have a great idea, talk to us. We'd love to talk you through it and give you some tips about putting together a proposal and thinking about your data analysis and that kind of thing that you may be less familiar with if you're a practitioner rather than a researcher. So have a look on our website, www.vetmg.com. Follow the links to our research page, and you can get all the information there. So I really hope that you'll get involved. We'd really love to hear from you. I hope everybody's enjoying the bank holiday weekend and is keeping well. We've been so impressed with what's going on in the profession at the moment. You've all been absolutely fantastic in adapting and doing some just amazing work to be able to carry on treating people's animals while looking after your teams and yourselves and keeping everybody safe. So fantastic work, everybody. We're so proud, and keep up the good work, and we'll see you next month.